Hello again, my little conscripts, and welcome to another sit and talk session with myself, the ADHD riddled Mordian Glory, and the man, the myth, the salt, Admiral Simon. And Simon, afternoon.
Morning. Who knows what time it is?
Well, it depends on when they're watching it.
That's very true.
Time exists differently in the nether zone. You know, who knows what time it is or where it is. So we are doing another one of these podcasty sessions. We probably should come up with a name for the series, like something catchy that people will be able to find, like Mordian Glory XYZ, you know, whatever it is. Suggestions down in the comment section, of course. We said we were only going to do them every other week, Simon. What's happening?
Well, I just offered. You were saying, you know what? People want to see less of me and more of you, which I thought was quite spectacular. I mean, that's quite worrying and also not true in the slightest. But you know, that's
they want the salt, man. They need the salt.
Well, I thought I got a bit of time this afternoon. I thought we'll hop on and talk rubbish for probably forever and a day, the way we go on.
I mean, I'm sure between my waffling and your saline content, I think that this is the highbrow production value that the viewers have come to know that is synonymous with the Mordian Glory channel.
Honestly, yeah, it's like the most professional hour of YouTube out there, really, isn't it? Nothing gets close to this.
It's never been done before. It's never been done. But we need to, Simon, I am going to have to check behind your ears for scars and staple marks, because clearly you've been taken over by a skinwalker. Because after months of wallowing in the dirt, maybe being a bit harsh, after months of your troglodyte stop. After a long losing streak, you seem to have turned this franchise around.
I know, I'm a bit of form at the moment.
It's post team tournament I went to beginning of this year. You've been on a bit of a winning streak, and but fortunately for once, you showed mercy to me, and I was not the one to feel your wrath. And Simon, not only did you play a game without me, which I did take personally, but it was also against orcs.
Doing a game here and there, you know what I mean? They can't all be chores.
That's true. But not only did you play against orcs, but you played against more Dakka orcs, which had quite a lot of Dakka in it.
Yeah.
And you beat it.
I did, yes.
More Dakka, it's like, complete it, mate.
Yeah. To be fair to Mark, it was the first time he'd played them, so, you know, there's a big asterisk after the victory. But, yes.
Take the W, man. Take the W. Yeah. Okay, so let's, a bit of context. Mark, if you're ever watching this, hello! Mark, our mate, he's been playing Warhammer for a while. He started off with Dark Angels, and then, ironically, decided to go over to Thousand Suns, so he starts off with traitors and goes over to loyalists, and then he's got into orcs recently, but he's played.
He's working on an orcs army.
He's played plenty of 40k before. He's been to many a tournament before. I consider Mark to be a very good player. He always brings the spice, though, which is funny because he's an incredibly relaxed, sort of calming sort of person, and then his lists are always filthy. But that's what we expect. It's your Simon the Salty Admiral. Mark is the spicy chef. Maybe we need to get him on the channel. But
it's like a South Park episode.
But yeah, so Mark, don't put yourself down. Don't put Mark down. He's a good player. He's been to tournaments. He's been to Adepticon with us. He plays at Warlords, which not Warlord Games, by the way. Warlord, not Bolt Action. Warlords, our local club. Which the motto for Warlords is "Turn up, get smashed, get better." And he's been there for years, so he knows his stuff. Mark's a good player, and you managed to beat him with Steel Legion.
I did, yeah. Mech.
Tell us what happened. Tell us what happened. Tell us the lists, the mission. Give us the deets. I'm going to ask questions as we go along.
All right. So you want the mission as well?
I want it all the deets, all the deets.
I'm not that prepared. Right. So I tweaked my list that we were playing the other day. We talked on the last one of these.
Yeah.
So I actually changed one of the Lehman Russes out at the last possible minute. So I ran and I went with Hammer of the Emperor.
Okay.
Warlord was Leontis. I wanted those nice.
Good call.
Yeah, I wanted the CP.
Did you find the extra CP quite important?
I did, but not for what I thought I was going to use it for.
Okay.
Straight enough. Dawn Tank Commander, which considering I've been sat there not slating them, but not being sold on them. But I took Tank Commander, Tech Priest, 5 units Acadians, each with a grenade launcher and a plasma, 5 Chimeras with heavy bolters, 2 Hellhounds, 2 Vanks.
Double Vank, baby! Oh!
And I went with 2, and I went with an Executioner in the end.
Good call. I love that. Good call. Yeah, it's a good tank.
I was umming and ahhing, but actually, I just thought I need that little bit that can pitch in either way. Because it can punch up or down. So, and a Scout Sentinel. And I put Calm Under Fire, so an extra order on the Tank Commander. And then Mark was running. So
but 1 second. I like that list because I think I like that list for a number of reasons. Firstly, Chimeras. A lot of people sort of wanking off the Tauroxes at the moment, and Tauroxes are good, but it's interesting. I actually saw a video from David on the Fireside podcast. Big shout out to him. If you want to know how to play guard well, rather than skewing it like me and Simon, definitely check him out. But he recently did a video saying how his opinions of the Chimera have turned around and how he is now starting to be a believer in the Chimera over the Taurox in some ways, which or the very least he sees them on like equal footing. I'm in the same boat. I see Tauroxes and Chimera on the same footing. I think the Chimera is more expensive but can contribute continuously throughout the game because of its firepower. Whereas the Taurox, it goes in there and then it dies, and so there's kind of like, do you want the one pop missile or do you want the IFV? Do you want the infantry fighting vehicle? So I love the fact that Chimeras were in your list and they were good. And I love the fact that you were taking Vanquishers. Call the Vank, baby! Call the Vank. And then I love the fact that I think Executioners. Yeah, I think the go-to tanks. And we've been saying this for a while, so we won't over-egg this point. But why bring units that boost AP? Just bring units that come with all the AP that you need. Sack off Exterminators, sack off Battle Tanks, get rid of all that. It's Executioners, it's Vanquishers. And Hellhounds are kind of the exception to this because Hellhounds may only be AP2. I think Hellhound Flamers being AP2 is fantastic, but they're only AP2, but then they ignore cover, so it's kind of like pseudo AP3. Those 3 tanks, dear viewers, Hellhounds, Vanks, Exterminators, those, whether they're, and on the Vanks Exterminator front, whether they're on Vanquisher tanks or Executioners, I should say, or whether they're on Tank Commander chassis, it's the guns we're talking about. Those 3 guns there are the cornerstone of the Guard Armor Corps right now.
Yeah, I really like the Executioner. I thought, I was first time I think it's one of the first times I ran one in 10th, and I was like, well, I've not run it many times. I was just like, and it was good because they were doing lifting right the way through the battle. So I was quite impressed with that. Really enjoyed running that.
It's just a big Makov plasma gun, isn't it? I mean, when was that? Why would that ever have been bad? It's because we all looked at its ability and went, eh.
Yeah, its ability's crap.
But you don't care about its ability.
No. And it can do, but it's get into it. But like the Vanquisher cannon's great. It's really good, but then if there's no tanks to shoot it, it's like, right, okay, I'm gonna think at one point I shot a Vanquisher cannon at a Gretchen.
Of course. I mean, Fuck that one Gretchen in particular.
Yeah, the stupid thing was it failed the wound roll.
Oh man.
Anyway, so yeah, Mark's list was 2 beast bosses, 2 big mechs with shock attack guns. One had a gobshot thunderboss, one had dead shiny shooters, no idea what they do. Zodgrod. Then you had 2 units of battle line Snagger Boys, 3 trucks, unit of Breaker Boys, unit of 10 Flash Gits, 20 Gretchen with Runt Herders, 10 Gretchen with a Runt Herd, 2 lots of 10 Looters, 2 lots of 5 Storm Boys, and 3 lots of 6 Tank Busters.
So that, to me, that seems like a good Mordaka list. But admittedly, I'm not a Mordaka or an Orc player, so we don't know. But just looking at this from like a high level point of view, Mordaka, the best units for that detachment are Flash Gits, Looters, and Tank Busters. And Mark had Flash Gits, Looters, and Tank Busters. Now, we don't know. We don't want to comment on whether he had them in the right ratios or not because we don't know. But fundamentally, I see that list, and I see a Mordaka list that is featuring its key units. And you could easily say, even if Mark just wasn't, 100% 360 no scope optimized, I think we could say that your list, it didn't have any Tauroxes in, you didn't have any scouting chimeras, you had like your Cadins and chimeras instead. So, I think you could argue that both lists are pretty equals in terms of their relative power. That would be my take on it.
I honestly can't tell you. I was quite pleased with my list, to be honest. It's definitely one that I think I'm going to be running again.
Nice.
Very much so. And then just the map we were running on was Crucible of Battle.
Okay.
And we were running WTC terrain.
Oh, so dense.
Yeah, and we were running, I think it was Crucible of Battle 3.
Okay.
So those are the terrain maps that we were running.
Just a little side note. I recently on stream showed the Americans what terrain we play on. WTC and UKTC. And the Yanks saw the UKTC and were like, okay, some of those are very dense, but some of them are like, there's a few firing lanes there. And then the moment, literally, I had an incredibly strong reaction. The moment I showed WTC terrain, all of the Yanks were like, what the fuck is this? Like, how the hell are you playing on that terrain? It's so ridiculously dense. And it was like there's this moment where finally one side understood the other side, because I came to appreciate, like, they, mostly play on GW terrain competitively. Like, we're talking broad brush strokes here, guys. But they mostly play on GW terrain, and we mostly play on WTC terrain over here. And WTC terrain, there's such a world of difference. And when I've been saying in my videos, we're entering a melee-dominated meta. Melee is king. Melee is it's what's going to be coming at you. The fact that that's been taking place on GW terrain, I think, shows how powerful Melee has become. But seeing Melee on WTC terrain, all of the Americans like, no wonder all you seem to face is goddamn Melee armies in your meta. It's like, yeah, when every objective can be held from behind a ruin, when every objective, when every unit can get from one side of the board, hopping from terrain piece to terrain piece without getting line of sight drawn on it, you start to understand why I've got such a hard-on for screening. You start to understand why I get so pissed off with how far they nerfed indirect fire. Because without with weakened indirect fire on WTC, it's very difficult. Yeah. Anyway, continue, Simon. Take us through general deployment, opening moves, general things that happened in the game. Doesn't have to be blow for blow, just as much as you can remember.
Yeah. The Crucible Battle's obviously the diagonal, so on my left, where it's not very deep, I had 2 chimeras and my executioner. On the right, I had my 2 Vanks, Leontis on the home objective, and we're doing the mission where you don't score for the home objective. And then my 2 Vanks, I had 2 chimeras on that side. I put 1 chimera into Strat Reserve. The commander was over there, and then I put my Scout Sentinel where it could get up to the middle easily enough with its scout move, and my 2 Hellhounds pushing. It's the battle map's the one with the 2 big L-shaped ruins that are like that around the middle objectives.
Yep.
So I was my Hellhounds were sat behind that bit there to keep away. I got first turn. So Mark deployed. He had so his 3 trucks. So he'd been quite aggressive with one of the trucks with the Breaker Boys, which are the tank choppy guys, and he had I think it was a squad of looters behind the terrain on my left, his right, to push down, and then kind of deployed further to the right. Now I got first turn, which was, I wasn't sure about if I wanted or not, but I got it. I pushed the scouts. I can't remember what Mark's got the scoring, unfortunately. I should have got him to send it over. But I pushed. I got quite good draws. My Scout Sentinel went up to the front. I positioned my 2 Hellhounds so that they could get to the middle one if needed. On my left, I managed to get a line on his squad of, I think it was looters that were behind the terrain on the left, and kind of got 5 of those.
Was that what did you get a line with? Hellhound, did you say?
No, it was 2. It was a what do you call it? A chimera.
Oh, just cheeky chimera. Just got the line.
Yeah, was it 6 heavy bolters, sustained hits. Just killed 5 of them.
Nice.
They're so good. It's so good against. They are so good against orcs. I think this is like the secret sauce. Pushed the chimera on.
Good old Simon Patton heavy bolters. Good old Simon. You never went away from the heavy bolter game, did you? You've always loved your heavy bees.
They've been so good in 10th. I just really do. Especially when you had, to begin with, you had the lethal hits. 2 damage -1. Thank you very much. Pushed the chimera onto each of the 2 objectives either side. And then unusual. So Mark then came at me. But he had to deal with the chimeras. This is what I didn't actually realise, that strength 5 -1 2 damage absolutely wrecks orcs. So it's not like he could ignore the chimeras. He actually had to try and kill them, because if he didn't, I had a boatload of. I mean, I can't. How many heavy bolters? I had 5 lots. So on the table, I had 8 heavy bolters on the chimeras, another 6 on tanks. That's what 10 heavy bolter shots.
Did you go for heavy bolter sponsons?
Not on the. I did on the 2 Vanks.
Interesting. Okay, fair play.
I went for the heavy bolters.
Did you go El Clasico? Did you go Vank, Laz, heavy bolters? The Simon Pan Russ.
So I mean, so basically what I found, because they're killy as hell, but they're only 24-inch range. A lot of the orcs. So the new me, I was much more aggressive, and I just flung chimeras up the board at him.
I'm loving it.
And he had to deal with them.
You've got that Tyranid DNA in you now, man. You've got that NID DNA. He's like speed, violence, momentum, always ABC, always be chimeraing. Like, that's what he's got.
But I think it's a really tough matchup for Dakka orcs, because you've got a lot of armor, and all right, they can do a lot of damage, but they're still having to hit. They're still going to have to roll 5s to wound
against a lot of it. Yeah,
and against a lot of it. So I think it was a real struggle. I think it was a tough matchup for the orcs, in all fairness, because you've got a lot of armor that's up the table at you that you can't ignore, because you if you ignore it, you're just going to get hosed down with heavy bolters.
I think chimeras, if we just briefly add up the total shots you can get from a chimera, it's 6 heavy bolters, which are going to get a sustained hit statistically. So that's 7 heavy bolter shots, 6 heavy stubber shots. So now we're looking at 13 shots. And then you've got potentially 12 lasgun shots. That's 28 shots. No, 25 shots. 25 shots. Plus the guys at the back, plasma and grenade launcher. That's the 28 shots.
Yeah.
28 shots from one Chimera, and you've got 5 of them. And orcs don't have power armor to sit in cover. So I think that the Chimeras, they were feasting, man. It was like feeding time at the Shark Tank.
And I think so. Basically, I dominated the either side because I had gave up on the middle, but he had 2 hellhounds. So yeah, he had it for turn 2 and 3. But after that, he kind of threw his Gretchen in the middle, which were taking it off me. But they were just getting burnt. For want of a just and because he was trying, and then at the back I had the Vanks and the executioners plus all the hunter. I smashed his trucks. His trucks were all dead by turn 2.
Using a vanquisher against a truck is probably a war crime. It's like that shell, it's not even slowing the shell down, man. It's just going through one side, out the other, just continuing on off the map.
Not as bad as shooting at a Gretchen or a Grot.
But the Grot survived. It ducked at the last moment.
So I actually think Mech Guards are really again, that table suits because he's got to, the Orcs have got a long way to get to within 24 inches. But he didn't really lay a glove on the. I think he popped 1 Russ by the end of it. Didn't touch my. He ended up with some of the deep striking guys in combat with my with the Rogel Dawn and bits and pieces. But yeah, tough matchup for the Orcs. Mech Guard might be one of those lists that actually.
What did you lose then? Just the Russ?
I lost 1 Hellhound. Oh, strange enough, took the guard squad out on turn 2. 2 of them.
Controversial, Simon. Controversial. You know the rules. You know the doctrine.
But they came out, and they already came out. I was like, well, actually, it's a 65-point model, but it stopped him getting 2 lots of primary.
Okay, then that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
It was literally like, well, I'm going to come out. I'm going to stop you getting primary on those. Yeah, they're going to die. But then actually that means you've got a load of Orcs that are still sat there taking all my firepower for another turn. You've not been able to. Yeah. So that worked really well. So what was your question? I lost to 3 Chimeras maybe. 3 Chimeras, a Sentinel, a Hellhound.
And a Russ.
And I think that was it. Maybe a Vank. Can't remember if I lost a Vank or not, but not a lot. And
not a huge amount. Yeah, well within acceptable parameters for guard casualties. And what the Orcs pretty much tabled.
They would have been on turn 5, yeah. Or they would have had some stuff holding on to on
the home objective.
So I think to be fair, first time. Not a good matchup for Orcs. I think, if I was in power, if I was playing with Grey Knights, he'd have smashed me.
Well, I think first thing to say is good game to you, good game to Mark, of course. Learning an army is always difficult, and I think he's I think we've got a victory over him now. Rematch at some point in the future once he's got a few games with his belt. Maybe we can see if that makes a difference. But because we don't want to, we're not shitting on Mark at all. He's one of our mates, and I'm sure he played it, very well, and he was, learning his units and all that stuff. But victory to the guard, which is awesome. Well done, Simon. Very, very well done. Give yourself a pat on the back and all that stuff. But I think there's an important point here, and it's not that you are clearly the greatest guard commander, the greatest guard ground commander. We've taken you from the Admiralty. We've put you into the army. Clearly, but. You said your Grey Knights would have got smashed.
Yes.
I think that more Dakka Orcs are a little bit anti-meta. They're anti-meta, and so they're kind of becoming meta themselves. But everyone is moving away from these vehicle-heavy armies. For some reason, I don't know why, collective decision was made by the community. We're not running vehicle and monster spam anymore. Okay, I don't know why, but fine. Maybe it's because of Eldar, who knows. But everyone's moved away from these more vehicle and monetary armies, and have started going to really elite infantry armies, melee orientated armies. Dakka seems to be having its wicked way with those. But then if someone turns up with Mech Guard, I do wonder if we're going to all these elite melee armies, if Mech Guard is going to be coming in with a steel chair. It's going to be the new anti-meta. Because the big thing is, if you're going heavy into melee, and obviously you weren't facing melee, so we're sort of construing a couple of points here. But if you're going into melee and you face off against mech, it's really annoying because you have to crack open the transport and then you've got to deal with the guys. So I think Mech Guard could be anti-meta in the big picture, but I also think, like you said, it could be anti-Dakka because, if all of your orc shooting is wounding on 5s, I think they've got some +1 to wounds here and there, so 5s and 4s. It's still like 4-up saves are rarely 50-50. They will often spike at the worst times, and they often won't spike when you want them to. Like, when I really need this tank to die, you just didn't get your 4-ups, and then they'll spike when it didn't matter. Oh, then I got all these kills against like a Chimera. Do you know what I mean?
But I tell you what's really good against them, because they've got so much E2 damage in there, or E3 damage. Well, ablative plating.
Yeah, boom! Is that what you were going to say? Where your strat, the sneaky strat?
I wasn't smashing through. I think I only smashed through on 1. But it was just like, right. And I wasn't popping smoke because I didn't need it for that, because that would have made that much difference, because you'd still be getting his. But ablative plating was just like, yes.
All your damage 2 down to damage 1.
Yeah.
All your damage. 3 down to 2 is huge.
Because that's, instead of that's 4 hits going through, it's 6.
Yeah. Because Chimeras and Russ have got that weird breakpoint of 11 and 13 wounds respectively. So suddenly you need 7 wounds to go through on a Russ. And when all your guns are like AP1 and AP2, like Orc guns are, you're just sat there like, I'm on a 2-up or 3-up save, I'm fine.
And they're only wounding his Russ on a 6, a lot of it.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
I think most of it will be 5s.
Yeah, a lot of it, but there was some 6s in there. And then, so I think, I actually think that Mech Guard is really strong into that, really do. So, I think
dude, seriously, I think Mech Guard supremacy.
Yeah, and I definitely think Hammer of the Emperor is a great detachment for it.
Yeah. It's a case of, do you want maneuverability or do you want firepower? Whatever your personal. It's like that scene in John Wick when he's like picking all the guns out. He's like, what are you fancying? It's like, is this suit going to be for evening wear or for business? And it's like, evening wear. It's like, is this Mech Guard going to be for speed, sir, or for firepower? Speed. Hammer of the Emperor.
Well, but like that on the objective on the right, that's there was an L-shaped ruin, and just about that I could get my Chimera on there. But the auto advance, bosh, off I went, steaming up there.
So good. Auto advance is still firing.
Yeah.
So what you did turn 1, you did the auto advance, got the line.
No, I just auto advance, got him in the terrain and parked him on the objective. Which he then had to come and try and clear it off.
Yeah.
So much more aggressive than I ever have been. Really
double flanky sweep.
Double flanky sweep, yeah.
The Hordes of the Buffalo, the double flanky sweep.
So yeah, tough match up that I thought for Orcs. Really did, and and again that caveat that I'm quite experienced with that army. First, we've said this before, that experience counts for an awful lot.
It does, yeah.
But I think if I was Space Marines or anything like that, all those guns, you'd be off the table in 2 days, in 2 turns.
Well, that's what it's been doing. That's what it's been doing to people. Like it's just been blasting off Marine armies left, right, and center. It's interesting. Eldar does quite well into Dakka, and I think it's because they can hit them quite quickly, and it's a relatively, and I could be wrong here, so please correct me down in the comment section, But apart from like infiltrating like Zogrod and a few trucks, it does feel like a relatively slow army. The way, you know, like it's a few trucks here and there, and like, you know, once you demobilize them, it's kind of like you get to pick the engagements. So I feel like Eldar, with their unbelievable maneuverability, are just gonna carve away certain parts of the army, and then the orcs can never quite bring the firepower to bear the way they want to.
Well, yeah, it was a good game. It was a nice change of pace. Good game. It's always fun playing Mark, and yeah, I think it was just a bit of experience, but I definitely think that Met Guard into more Dakka is, you know, it's one of the stronger lists into it.
Nice. So you're saying armor is the way to go?
I think so. I really liked it. What, into more Dakka or?
More tanks, Simon. Do you want to know how many?
Is that a legal bloody cannon, or are we getting into more?
No, that is what it comes with.
Oh, is that the? Oh, it's the thingy, isn't it?
It's the heresy one.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how many of these I have ready to be built, ready to be thrown into service?
4.
7.
Why have you got 7? Christ alive. You need help. You really need some help.
Simon, what do you mean you don't have 20 Lehman Russes?
Yeah, I've got 20 armies, I think. I'll tell you.
Yeah, my Mordians. So we've had the Great Mordian. Oh, shiver! We had a Great Mordian restoration project, which is why I repainted pretty much all of them, and now we're having the Great Mordian modernization project, where, because a lot of my Russes, I know us talking about hobbying, man, but a lot of my Russes, if I just get an example.
Well, why are you in your pajamas?
Because it's a work day. I work in my PJs.
I'm still alive.
It's a tough job being a YouTuber, Simon. It's a tough gig.
How would you call it a job?
Nah, man, not actually, because I don't want to slag off my fellow content creators. I would say with YouTubing, it's long hours. That's what it is. Yeah, it's not. The hardest bit is, you know, doing like 6 hours, 7 hours of recording a day, and then doing 5 or 6 hours of streaming. You do tend to do 10 to 14-hour days, but you do those days in your pajamas. So I reckon it balances out to being the same as any other job, really, in terms of, you know, effort and all that kind of stuff. Going back to what I was saying, is a lot of my Russes are these old boxy ones. And so they've all been lovingly repainted. I mean, some people are going like, they still look like shit Mordian. Trust me, they looked a lot worse than this before I sorted them out. They really did. Yeah. You saw the old red and tan perils.
I was wondering why you got 6-year-old to paint them for you, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, they were painted by me when I was 6.
This is coming from me. I've got nowhere.
Your painting's fine, man. Don't put yourself down. But yeah, so, you know, adding all the stowage on and, you know making them, sorting them out. So this is when I restored them. But obviously these guys are pretty fixed in terms of like, these are the old sponsons, these is the old turrets. You can't swap any of this out. So it's interesting. A lot of the time when I'm doing battle reports, I tend to use my Steel Legion tanks. Because they were all built in 8th edition with the better kits and everything, so that's why. But I quite like I quite like my army all being the same color, so that's why I've been putting a bit of an effort into restoring the Mordians. And to be honest, you know, I don't really need an excuse to collect more guard, so I just So there you go. Yeah, and it's also good for the big apocalypse events as well.
Yeah, it's a good point.
So yeah, I'm getting my hobby on, Simon. More tanks, and let me just say before I forget, this kit, mate. I was building it on live stream yesterday. This is a controversial statement. This is my favorite GW kit right now.
Really?
The old Lehman Russ kit is it's decent, but it's showing its age. Like, they're building those sponsons, and they're in like these weird little parts, and you always end up missing a bit out, especially that little front triangle bit on the sponsons. The whole weapon, and it's like you've got to build it and all this. They're really these really flimsy, thin parts and everything, and the tank is relatively low on detail itself. Like the turrets are quite flat and everything. And then you've got the fact that the kit it sometimes feels like the kit isn't working with the play. You're kind of like having to bend the kit to your will a little bit. It's fine, but it's like a solid, like you're sort of it's like a sort of 6 or it's like a 7 out of 10 kit in terms of ease of build. This thing, every single part went together seamlessly. I barely needed the instructions. It was a treat. It was a pleasure to build. A pleasure. So I can recommend it.
As someone who, as you said on video, and we've got that you would never, that you only purely do WYSIWYG, that you've not got any sponsors on that.
So this is my genius, right?
Right.
Behold the magnitude.
And that is dripping with sarcasm about your claim that you only do WYSIWYG, by the way. I mean,
behold the magnitude.
Picked up on that level of sarcasm, i.e. you.
Behold the magnitude of my genius. It is frightening, Simon. Sometimes it terrifies even myself.
Yeah.
So this is the Lemur's Vanquisher variant of the strike tank. If I turn it round, oh, what's that on the side of the barrel, Simon? It's a coaxial heavy stubber. So I've got my heavy stubber. In the front, we've got the las cannons. What's that on top, Simon? It's a plasma cannon, pintle mounted plasma cannon. That's my sponson. So my opponent.
But you've only got one sponsons.
What's that on the side? What's that on the side, Simon? That is a double battery pack, so it can fire twice as fast.
Not having that.
Now, do you want to know the next part of my genius? You might be like, but it's not the right width.
Yeah.
It's not the width.
Is it not? I would not have picked up on that.
It's not got sponsons. It's not the right width, is it?
Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Spaced armor, my friend, going on the side of the tank. So there's going to be spaced armor on the side of the tank to make it the right width. And then it'll be the right width with all the right weapon options.
Right.
And, do you know what's crazy? You might be like, oh, but Mordian, what if you want heavy bolter sponsons? It comes with 3 different pintle weapons.
Right, okay.
Pintle heavy bolter for heavy bolter sponsons.
Right, there's only one of them.
Doesn't matter. Remember the rules, mate. At a glance, can you tell what that vehicle is armed with? Has it got plasma? Yes. Has it got heavy bolters? Yes. Has it got multi-melters? You got damn right. It's got a multi-melt sponson, bro.
Yeah, I'm only doing this because you started it.
And if you were really going to be like that, Si, if you really want to be like that,
well, I'm not.
You know what you could do?
You started all this.
Do you know what you could do if you were really going to be like that? And you may well be within your rights to do so. But if you wanted to, you could have double pintle, and those could be 2 plasma cannons. I think that looks a bit shit though, personally. Yeah, so that's why I was like, you know what?
Shooting double plasma pintles from the hip as you pop out the top.
One on each hand. You're just like. But I think that looks I think that looks quite good. That.
Yeah. All joking aside, it is a nicer kit. I do agree with you. It's a nice looking kit.
It's more detailed. It's nicer, and honestly, I mean, I'm kind of on the. Going back to the sponsored thing, I think if you just play it as being an extra inch wide on each side, that's also okay. As long as so when you're moving through gaps on Tournament Ruins, like, oh, would I be able to fit through that gap if I'm a sponsons? No, then I can't fit through it. Like, just don't be a dickhead about it, frankly. Play it as if it was the right size. And if your opponents try to draw a line of sight to it and they're like, oh, I can't quite see it, you can be like, well, actually, my sponsor would have been sticking out around the side there. I think that's the way to play it.
It is a nice look.
It does look nice. I really am thinking about going full up armoring on it. Like, to give an example, I know this level of hobbying talk is
not what are we doing.
What we're doing. But what I want to do, I'll wait until I'm facing the camera. What I want to do is do the equivalent to that Russ as to what I've done to this Chimera. So this Chimera is like super heavily armored. You know, it's got the dozer blade, it's got track guards, it's got spaced armor. And I personally, I think that I don't know, you might disagree, and please feel free to do so, dear viewers and dear Simon. But I think that looks better than the standard Chimera kit, which, because, you know, it's the 41st millennium, you're driving around with exposed tracks. What the hell is this? Like the Matilda 1 from bloody World War 2. Do you know what I mean? Like, what the hell are you doing? So I like this, because whenever you see tanks in the modern age, they've got like bird cages on the side. You know, they've got the. I like this armor because it looks like it's reactive armor because it's got like the little squares on it. They've got the contact ERA. You know, they've got the armor. Tanks these days are armored to fuck with all the add-on packages. Like the Leopard 2 is up to like the bloody Leopard 2A8, and it's just like, if you compare it to what it originally looked like, it's like looking at a Russ, an OG Russ, and comparing it to like one of these, you know, like one of these up armored things. So I am thinking of basically taking this kit and then adding on track guards and spaced armor and a dozer blade, and maybe even trench rails on the back, and just being like, it is a standard Lehman Russ which has been upgraded with an armor package. I don't know. I quite like the concept. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I'll give you one like that. That is a nicer model.
Yeah, and I want to roll. So the Great Mordian Modernization Project is focused on my armor. All of my chimeras are going to get that upgrade package. All of my Russes are going to get track guards and dozer blades on the front. The ones I got still have sponsors, so they can't have anything else on there. My Hellhounds are going to get it as well. We're going to be fully up armored on all sides.
You're going to be chunks.
Yeah, because the idea is going to be my Mordians, as you've seen with my new fobs, my new fob basing. They're going to be doing urban combat, and so they need all these extra armor packages added on for, like, you know, people you know, shooting them close range and stuff. And also it's the idea of my Mordians are a very old regiment, so they've either got the strings they can pull in Departamentum Unitorum, and B, they've got the experience behind them. So they're like, we know we don't just take the standard issue Russ and fly it into a fucking town and it gets blown up. We know we have to strap all these extra bits onto it. But my Steel Legion tanks are all they're all very light, and the reason for that is A, they're a newer regiment in my collection, and B, they're all about speed. So they don't want all the extra armor on because that slows them down. They're all. And basically, long story short, because I know I've been going hot on this, but my Mordians, if I want to run Hammer of the Emperor style lists, both now and in future editions, if I want to run Hammer of the Emperor style lists, I'll probably go for my Mordians, because the rest of them crashing through the ruins. No, sorry, if I want to go through Hammer of the Emperor, I want to go Steel Legion, because they're all maneuverable and they're really fast. And if I want to go slower, more firepower, I go for my Mordians. There you go.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Fair enough.
But yeah.
Listen, look, you've just, you know, I'm 10 minutes of you chattering, I just sit there and nod. That's when it. Yeah.
What are you working on, Simon?
More Raven Guard.
Not Emperor's Children yet?
No, I've got a few models to. I'm just trying to.
Oh, cool, man. Raven Guard Assault Intercessor with jump pack?
Yeah, it's my last lot of 5 now.
Is that it, and then they're done?
No, I've got 10 scouts I want to do. And that gets me my list that I've been working towards. And then I'm going to part them, and then I'm doing the Emperor's Children.
Okay. I have, we can take this offline, but I thought I'd just throw it out there. I do have a Redemptor Dreadnought brand new on sprue, which I am never ever going to. It's a Black Templar one, so it's the base Redemptor Dreadnought, but then it has, like, you can add upgrades onto it. If you like wanted that, or we do some sort of trade, because I've had it since the Black Templar box came out in what, like 8th or 9th. I'm just never going to use it. So I'm never going to just use one on its own. Do you know what I mean? So if we want to, if you just want to have a think, if you've got anything to trade, we could do a little swapsies or something.
It's a riveting conversation for people. Buy, trade, sell, and swap with Mordian and Simon.
Mate, you've no idea, man. My pile of shame. Actually, you do know. You do know.
I've seen your. Yeah. I feel better every time I come home after seeing your pile of shame, and I'm like, actually, I've hardly got anything.
It's a Soviet storage yard. It's a Soviet storage yard. We just keep piling up things in there.
Yeah, no. So, but going back to, I've got 15. So these are almost done. They just need varnishing in the bases, decorating, putting like the little tufts of grass and the skulls and stuff on. Then I mean, to be fair, Raven Guard scouts will be a piece of piss. I'll knock those out pretty.
Yeah.
And then Emperor's Children. So I'm going to do them white. I'm going to try white.
Some sort of sick parody of a wedding dress and purity and all that kind of stuff with the Emperor's Children.
I quite like the just random bits of bright pink, but I'm going to do white and then just random bright pinks. So I've just ordered the pink triad, the Army Pater Fanatics.
Oh, very cool.
So yeah, so I'm going to try because I've decided I'm not a fan of speed paint.
Controversial statement that.
Yeah,
I'm fully converted, man. I'm all about them.
No, yeah, I know. Yeah, no. I've got, I'm gonna. Well, I found quite a good one actually. Grey Seer. I know you don't like and I wouldn't use that for speed paint or anything.
No.
Grey Seer spray, because that's quite a very light grey, isn't it? Wash it in this. I'll tell you what I found. So top hobby. I went on this
hobby tip. My God.
But this stuff, Dark Star Midnight Shroud. This stuff.
Dark Star Midnight Shroud.
Yeah, it's brilliant as a. It's like a good dark wash, but it doesn't stain as much.
So better than non oil.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of that. So I'll wash it with that for the recesses, and then just put a big dry brush of white on it. So that'll be the power arms done, and then I'll just pick out some pink stuff, and I just need to decide what I'm going to do the guns and whips and random stuff like that. So yeah, I've been going around in circles, so that's what I've kind of decided on what I'm going to do with them.
What's your plan for expanding the army outside of the core box?
It's easy to do. It's core box, right?
Yeah.
So you've got 10 of the 2 lots of 5 of the infiltrating troops, 10 of the combat ones in the box. You get 20, and then obviously it's the 2 6-man noise marines and the lord. Then the combat patrol gives you another 10 of the troops, which will give you 2 units of the 10 close combat.
Nice.
Which I think they're really good. Then that'll also give you 6 of the choppy guys with the stupid heads.
The endless blades or faultless blades.
Yeah, they're not getting heads. They're ridiculous. And then another lord. So that's that. So I'll have 30 troops, 12 noise marines, 6 of the choppy guys, 2 lords, and then Lucius, Fulgrim, and some rhinos. And I think that's actually for a 2,000 point list isn't far off.
How many rhinos are you thinking?
I think 3 to begin with, possibly 4.
So 6.
No, I think I could need 6. I don't think because you can't put the.
You need 6.
No, because. Oh, well, yeah, that's a good point. Actually,
you're a Steel Legion commander. Why? What's the maximum number of transports you can take? Take that many.
But you can't. So you can't put the thingies in them.
I don't know. I feel like the Emperor's Children will try very hard to put their thingies inside the rhinos.
The flawless blades can't go in rhinos.
What?
That's yeah. They're
like 8-bound. Yeah. Okay.
So you're going to put 10 of the tormentors in. So 2 lots of tormentors with a Lord Exultant in. So that's going to be 2 rhinos full. Then you're going to put 2 lots of 6 noise marines in one each. So that's going to be 4. And then, so yeah, I don't think you need 4, any more than 4. And then nothing else can really go in.
No, I don't think you need more than 4, really. If you want to go full mech, you'd need to, but other than that.
No, but I don't. But that's literally as much as you're going to put in. I just you're not going to be there because the infractors can infiltrate anyway, so you don't
Right.
need to. I don't think you need. I mean, possibly all right. You might run 30 tormentors, but I don't think you're going to run any more than that absolute max.
No,
And 2 units. If you run 2 units, I think you can get. Is it 12? You can get in a Chaos Rhino.
I think so. Because you can put characters in there as well.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not convinced you're going to run the. So you can run 2 lots of Noise Marines in one and another Noise Marine squad in the other with the characters. So I think 5 absolute tops is what you need, but I think 4 is probably the sweet spot.
I think 4 for now, and then as rules and additions change, you can always get an extra Rhino, can't you?
But it's quite nice actually getting in at the ground floor. This is what I've worked out because I can actually get the base, and then I'm not having a massive pile of shame. And then as you release new kits, I've got the core. So
yeah, and there is something. As much as I want to shit on GW and blah 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 blah, there is actually something incredibly nice about starting a new army and starting it right as well. I the last time I did that for 40k was my Gene Stealer cult, and I've only ever done this once, but I went in to Games Workshop and I bought basically the first like 1,000 points of my Gene Stealer cult army, codex, everything in one go. But bang, there goes to the 8th edition. Bear in mind, prices back then were a lot more reasonable. You know, it was only like usually this is the time when chimeras were £20 each, not £35 each. But and then I did it I just went in and bought basically most of an army from Games Workshop, brand new in box. No, for once I wasn't, you know, eBay scavenging or buying, you know, trade selling and all that kind of trading and everything. I just went, fuck it, I'm going to treat myself. And I just, you know, it wasn't that much. It was like, well, it wasn't. It's all relative, you know, but it was like between £100 and £200 for everything, which for a horde army like GSC isn't too bad. And then when the second wave came out, I went and did the same thing, and I was just like, I've got an army brand new in box. It's all been built from the ground up, as you said, 2 waves of it, building the army right, and that army has basically stayed preserved in that state for without me having to add really anything to it. It got to about 2,500 points, and it's just been there. And it comes out once or twice a year, and I just have fun with it. Yeah,
if they launch a new carriage, it's only one model you need to buy and add. I think that's what I've found with the Raven Guard, where I've struggled a bit with getting them done, is because it's just like, right, oh god,
more Marines, more.
Oh, there's that, and actually this is now. All right, I need that, and all right, I've got 6 suppressors. Actually, I need whatever the deep strike, and it's just like, oh, actually now I need that tank, and then there's just so much to go from. So whereas I think with the Emperor's Children, if you get it. Actually, there's the first 2,000 points with a few, you know. I've got Fulcrum, I've got Lucius, I've got 18 Noise Marines, I've got 18 Flawless Blades, and then actually it's just if a new kit comes out. So that's quite nice. So I don't feel quite.
I really appreciated that with yourself, but you have the Guard where everything needs to be bought in multiples of 3 for it to be effective.
Yeah.
And then you've got Marines where you're always getting something new and they're always tweaking the meta. There's always something around Marines, you know. And so it's like those armies are never completed.
No.
I've been collecting Guard for 21 years, man, and my army isn't completed.
Yeah.
There's always more to be added.
It's like Necrons. I've still got loads of want from the Necrons.
Yeah.
Grey Knights, so I feel like, you know, I might need a couple of new. I'm going to need a couple of new Dread Knights. I've only got 4 Dread Knights anyway, so that's kind of not, you know, 6 with the new upgrade sprue, fantastic. Yeah. So that's fine. But yeah, that'd be quite cool, and especially with my OCD where I can't, you know, I can't field, you know, proxies or anything. It's just like, I know it's. So yeah, the thought of only having to pay 60 models, I reckon. What's it, 33 in that box, 33, 43, 49, 50. I mean, it's probably only 50 infantry plus Lucius plus Fulgrim, and then 3 or 4 rhinos, and that's a full army. So it's not a.
That's what I if I was using speed paints, I could knock out the infantry in a weekend. Just 2 12-hour painting sessions, bang bang.
Yeah, well, I can't paint like that. I have to do half an hour. But I reckon if I get these done, and I think just going on to a different army will be nice, just because I've been playing, because I did my what do you call it, my heresy, that they're Raven Guard as well. So I just feel like I've painted Raven
Nice.
ever in a day.
And we never see them. It's like literally, you've just been slaving away in the shadows, and like you never run the army because you've always said to me, "Oh, they're not quite ready yet. They're not quite ready yet. They're not quite ready yet."
Well, I've got. I think I just need to get finish these. I mean, there's literally just a varnish and some basing to do on these, and then I'll get my 5 scouts knocked out next week. So actually, maybe not next week's battle report, but the one after, I can run the list I want to run.
I think next week we have to do bot action battle report. The people are hankering for it. I'm hankering for it, and we might. The stuff is in my car. I just need to pull the trigger and buy it. It could be a live one as well.
Live? Ooh.
Because I think bolt action live will be actually quite interesting with like, oh, what's the next dice going to be? All that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think we'll do. Also, it's a slightly smaller game, so whilst it gives us time to answer super chats and stuff that come in and whatnot.
Well, you know what? The other thing that I've just seen from Warlord Games, that I've just seen has come out into Epic, and I know we've not even done the other Epic yet.
Yeah, we haven't started it.
Epic War of Independence.
Yeah, I know, man. I am so ready to quote the Patriot like non-stop throughout a battle report. These rustics are so inept. Nearly takes the honour out of victory. Nearly.
Right, okay, so we're not going to do that. Anything more about that?
But you said, you said you'd give us peace. I did. That's between you and God.
Oh God! I mean,
I'm so ready for it. I'm so ready for it, man.
But anyway, there's that. So I've seen that, and I was like, right, I really fancy that. But then we're gonna have to argue who's going to be. Well, we have to decide who's the good guys and who's the bad guys in it. And then
you are so obviously going to play the Americans, man.
What? No.
No.
Why would I? Well, I don't know. Who would you play?
Well, I am fully ready to embrace being the absolute sneering, snobbish Brit bastard, the limey bastard, and I feel like the moment I do that, your natural tendency is to be like, oh, stop it. Do you know what I mean? Which kind of lends itself to you being the freedom-loving Yanks. Go either way.
I did see that, and I thought this is a whole can of worms for the channel. To be honest,
I will happily play as the Yanks if I need to, because the moment you do anything, I can be like, I'm going to throw your tea in the harbour.
Have you seen the kits?
No. Should I bring them on? Bring them on screen.
They look amazing. To be fair, they look really, really good.
Right, give me a second.
I think it was in the middle of March, but the American kits look fantastic with the pickets and stuff like that. Yeah.
New releases it'll be under, won't it? New releases and pre-orders. Oh wow. Oh wow, the shrouds. Let me get this on screen. No one will be able to see your face time, so you can pull funny faces and stuff. But let's have a look at this for a moment. No one can see my face either. Oh wow. That's so cool. Let's look at the Continental Army. Ah, mate, that's so good.
Well, they've even got Hessians for the Brits, which I know,
That's cool, yeah. That's cool. Where's the Loyalist bundle? There you go. Wow. And British Loyalist Militia, British Line Infantry. It's all about the tricorn hats, That's what it's all about. The
Empire Total War.
Hessians. Shit, man. Yeah, that's quite. It's fun. That's quite obscure, but that's what I love about Warlord. They'll give you the stuff that you know and love. British Line Infantry, of course, and then you'll see these like Hessian things. And if you're not familiar with the era, you'll be like, "What the hell's a Hessian?" And then you'll start researching and reading about it, and it becomes quite educational. Yeah.
Was the Headless Horseman supposed to be a Hessian?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. British Grenadiers, yes. Bum, 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 bum. Oh yeah, I'm ready.
So yeah, so I thought that's quite cool. I mean, although you have to, we've still got to do the others, and we haven't decided who's doing what army for that yet.
I will play anything. I'm happy to be the bad guy and play Napoleon.
Oh, is he the bad guy?
Well, of course he was. Old Boney.
Controversial.
He was average height for the time.
Probably still taller than you.
Probably, yeah.
But yeah, no, I saw that. Well, that looked wicked.
Yeah,
really looks really quite cool. That, to be fair,
it does. But we have too much of the other stuff to get through, and we've not even opened it yet.
Yeah, and I know the other thing is I've gone down a rabbit hole this week.
Oh well. Yeah, another Simon rabbit hole. I'm ready. Lay it on me.
No, this is your fault.
Okay, I love it.
French Crusade.
Yeah. I'm not. I like the look of Trench Crusade. I'm not too worried about playing it just yet. But if you got into it and you learned it, I would play it. That's my approach to it. A bit like with Kill Team. I'm going to be learning Kill Team, to be fair.
I was going to say, you told me I've got to learn Kill Team.
We have to learn Kill Team. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have every kill. We are going to have at some point every Kill Team. Shout out to Walario82, who has supported the channel by sending every Kill Team box. I need to start working on that.
I'm doing more Mordians. Do Kill Team.
I know, but to be fair, this is one of his tanks. He sent me one of these as well.
Fair enough.
So yeah, this is one of his.
Yeah, the Iron Sultanate, the models look amazing. I'm like, yeah, that's definitely what I'm going with.
So for me, I like the lore of Trench Crusade. I like the aesthetic of Trench Crusade. I think it's awesome. But the thing that's kind of holding me back on it is it's World War One. And so with World War One, I kind of want big battles and battles of attrition, and it's a squad-based game, so it's more like trench raiders fighting each other, which is cool. But I'd love to be like over the top, lads, like waves of like hundreds of guys and like bayoneting demons and all this kind of stuff, you know.
Well, John, I'm sitting down because I'm so surprised by you saying you want to do some game that involves Matt's infantry.
Don't judge me. But you know what I mean? There's a slight skip for me. I actually quite like watching Trench Crusade. People like people doing like TTS and stuff on it. I do quite like watching it. I just I kind of hope that in the future they release a larger scale version of it, because then I'd be all over it. Like I'd be like a dog eating a bag of chips. I'd be all over it.
Oh, fair enough. But yeah, anyway, I'm surprised you hadn't noticed that about the epic. But we definitely would need to do that. That's the one I'm most excited about.
What, epic, Waterloo, epic in general?
Yeah. Really, that's
I'm gonna have to figure out. I'm gonna have to start paying it. There's like 9,000 models, Simon. 9,000 tiny men. It's quite daunting.
Yes.
I think we're gonna have to use speed paints.
Well, I think speed paints look quite good on those, to be honest.
Quite bright. Yeah. Bright and popping.
But also, I think because there's no massive large surfaces, are there? So it'll be perfect for speed.
I think spray on. Yeah. I think spray on white, red coats versus blue coats versus like black coats for the German, for Prussians, yeah, and then brown sticks, silver on top, white feather, bang, just do that 9,000 times.
You got to do the crosses, and no.
No, you have to do the crosses. We should do it. To be fair, we should. I was thinking of doing a game of it like unpainted, because it does come in red plastic and blue plastic.
Yeah.
But I've been strongly advised to paint them on the sprues, because otherwise they're very difficult to paint.
Yeah, I was watching the thing about it the other day, thinking, oh, quite, because I'm like, I'm desperate to play it.
Yeah.
Get my old flanky sweep.
Yeah, man, the flanky sweep.
The perfect game system for a flanky sweep.
I might. So, I have got to paint a metric ton of orcs. I've got to finish off my old world orcs, which I've painted about 300. I've just got to finish the last 50 or so off, and that's my old world orcs done. And then I need to do 40k orcs, because I've got a big narrative game coming up, orcs versus Helens, which should be cool. Doing that with Woody, channel member Woody, and once I've got a reasonable amount of orcs done, I can then start, I think, working on a bit of epic. I need to start. I'm kind of no-lifing one project at a time, and I feel like I just need to be painting a little bit of everything, just so I can keep things all moving, so it's not like one track and then the next track and the next track. I need to be painting 24/7, Simon. Every stream's a painting stream now.
Well, there you go. Crack on.
That's the way to do it. To be fair, I used to do one hobbying stream a week, and now I'm up to like minimum of 2, sometimes 3. Like, is there anything interesting to talk about? No. Right, I'm doing hobbying tonight, boys. It's got to be done, man. It's helping a lot. I am getting through more and more stuff. I'm going to say something which is going to upset you.
Go on.
In 4 months, I painted 600 orcs. 600 infantry models. 300 orcs, 350 orcs, and about the rest was bolt action.
Right, it's okay.
4 months. Over 100. Over 100 models. It's about 120 models roughly a month. More than that.
That's ridiculous.
150 models a month. About 40 a week. Every week for 4 months. And I didn't even touch the sides, Si. I didn't even touch the sides, bro. Like, that's not even like that's not even made a dent. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna be like an Egyptian pharaoh. They're gonna bury me in a tomb surrounded by all of my unbuilt Warhammer. That's what's gonna happen.
All right. And the transfers come off a model have not sealed it. Anyway, sorry, I digress.
You say I do riveting content. We just got to look at your like lower back.
You lucky boys.
No, fortunately, Simon, you weren't selling crack. Don't worry, it was all right. Right, that seems a pretty natural place. We've started talking about Simon's ass crack. That feels like we've probably run out of interesting things to talk about.
Yeah. No one needs to know that.
But I tell you what, it's been a different one today, because not only have we talked about content, not only have we talked about tabletop and more Dakka and meta, which we did for about half an hour, 40 minutes. We also had a good half of hobbying.
Yeah, so not like us at all.
Not like us at all. So, and that wasn't scripted. We were meant to talk about the Big Bot Action battle, but another time. We'll talk about we'll have a bot action battle next week, and then we can talk about bot action we'll do some bot action versus 40k kind of like comparison in the next podcast, I think. But dear viewers, let us know what you thought. Did you like the hobbying aspect of it, or are you like, no, you guys are terrible at hobbying? Stick to your lane. Stick to your lane.
My lane, taking the piss out of you.
That's the lane. Yeah. I do think I will say one thing though, a poignant note to end on, which very well may lead us into talking even further, but it might not. We'll see.
Yeah.
I think that at the moment we're entering the last year of 10th edition, and everyone's been playing and meta, competitive. And I feel like this last year, everyone's taken a step back. I know so many people in my community, on the Discords and the live streams, which are starting new projects. And interestingly, Simon, everyone seems to be starting a Chaos Army.
Well, there you go.
We've had Death Guard getting started, 2 people starting Thousand Suns. Swordsman Smith has started World Eaters, Thousand Suns, Nurgle, and Emperor's Children. He's got the Thanos glove of chaos. So it seems to be hobbying first now.
Never appealed to me, chaos at all. And then I saw those Emperor's Children, I thought, yeah, I like those. And it does fill a niche in my army that I don't have, which is assault.
That is because you are an absolute sexual deviant, Simon, and the.
Okay, there goes the monetization.
Time to head over to the second podcast, the Mordian Glory Hole, where Simon takes us through 10 ways to please your man or woman.
And on that note,
and on that bombshell, we'll call it that. Simon, a pleasure as always, man, and thank you for joining. And dear viewers, let us know truly what you thought about this. Did you enjoy the mixture of hobbying content? And if so, hobbying and tabletop competitive content and all that kind of stuff. And if so, what do you want to see us work on? Do you want to see Black Powder, 40k armies, blow by blow, pun intended, of Simon's Emperor's Children army coming together? And also, what have you been working on? What have you been working on? Let us know down in the comments, because I often find reading other people's hobby projects gives me inspiration and ideas for my own. There you are. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And, of course, as always, we'll see you guys next time. Would you like to know more? If so, then please consider becoming a channel member or patron. By supporting the channel, not only will you be doing your part, but you'll also be helping me create more content for your viewing pleasure and unlocking a whole host of perks. You get everything from a badge next to your name, custom emojis, but the big one is access to the Mordian Glory Discord server, an online community with almost 2,500 active members. It's always popping off in the MG Discord. We've got channels for army lists, hobbying, tactics, stories, and even a pretty spicy meme section as well. For all you greenhorns that wanted to see the Mordian Glory Hole, today is your lucky day. And joking aside, I do want to say a massive thank you to all of the current channel members and patrons. You guys are amazing. Truly the lifeblood of the channel. I could not do Mordian Glory full time without the incredible and generous support of my members. So thank you guys so much. And last but certainly not least, I want to say a personal thank you to all of my top tier Patreons. These are the War Masters, the people who have truly gone above and beyond the call of duty. So a heartfelt thank you to Alex Dengal, Bon Vert, Lord Pryor, Mark Panconi, RJ Scorpion, Swordfish Trombone, Try Again Bragg, John Stubbs, Nick Walsh, Diesel Fox, and August Barney. Seriously guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support is incredible and it makes a huge difference. Thank you so much. That's all for now. Hope you've all enjoyed today's video, and of course, as always, see you guys next time.